So Devananda, I really enjoyed your video.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're going to India. You're leaving your successful job as hospital administrator in the United States of America. You're surrounded by absolute beauty and possessions. Why are you going? Why are you led to go to India?
That's a great question. And yes, I feel like I live in a little castle, actually. And I am surrounded by beauty and a beautiful home, beautiful neighborhood, all the things I've been accustomed to my entire life. And this is it's more than a big change. It's absolutely huge. But it's like listening. For me, it's listening. I've gotten better at listening to myself. And it's like an internal guidance system. Just like when we eat food and our natural intelligence of our body is digesting it, and we're not completely aware of it, but it's still happening. It's like that. The more we bring awareness to that internal part of ourself, that internal intelligence within, and you just start listening. And it's an undeniable pull, so to speak. It's my intuition. I'm listening. And I'm going to a place where my living conditions are going to be completely different. You know, I'll live in a dorm. I'll wear Indian saris every day. I'll be getting up at before 4 a.m. because yoga's at 4. And I'm not a morning person. And I will be busy throughout the day. And it's going to be a change, but it's something that I positively anticipate, and I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Thank you for asking, Mom. My mom's filming, by the way.
So, is this for everybody?
The living in the ashram life, you mean?
Living the life you do, listening to your intuition.
Absolutely. Listening to our intuition, to our internal guidance system is for everyone. It's awakening to that internal intelligence within us. And that's what Swamiji's doing. He's trying to awaken us to the real you. You know, we haven't been, he says we've been misled about who we are and our potential as humans by society, by unintentionally, but by an unconscious society. But to become more aware of ourself, that listening is what's required. So we can do that several ways, through meditation, through eating a more organic, whole food, vegetarian diet, through yoga, which actually means uniting. So through Nitya yoga practice, it's more of a uniting your mind, body, and spirit. And that's why, we usually start the day with yoga and meditation, and then the live satsang. Swamiji says to spend like 5 hours a day on your inner world, on your spiritual development, on listening to ourselves.
So, we usually think of ourselves as our bodies and our minds, our intellect. And yet you're talking about something that's different.
Right.
Tell us about that.
Well, I guess in my whole life I thought it was my body and my mind only. And then I thought it was an interesting technique when I was in Inner Awakening the first time back in 2009, 2010. I stayed at the ashram for 4.5 months from like November to April of that time frame. And one of the techniques Swamiji had us do was to walk around the property and to observe ourselves, but say, this body is walking. This body is, moving its left arm, but kind of like that, and becoming more aware that we're the observer. Our essence or our soul is the observer, and our body and our mind is something. We have a body and a mind, but that's not all we are. Something more than that, far greater, actually.
So you're saying you got that, you received that revelation. Was that a revelation?
For me, it was new because I had never thought about it like that. I always thought I was this body and this mind, and my experiences and my ideas and my perception was my world. So I thought that was all there was. I didn't know there's something beyond that. So that was the first time I had actually experienced something in a different way, where I was beyond this body and this mind. There was something more than just the body and the mind. And so for me, it was a odd technique, because I was like going, interesting. This body is walking. I thought that was really interesting because it was something I'd never done before. Something I never even thought of until Swamiji gave us that technique. So that's when it all started,
So you have talked about the fact that we're not our bodies and we're not our minds, and that we have this inner guidance system. How do we know? How do we know to trust it?
Well, that's just the thing. When it's your inner guidance system, when you hear the truth, it resonates with your being, and you'll know. And it's that knowing that you trust. It's listening to your heart and following that over the crazy monkey mind that we have. Because the mind is always changing, emotions change. We're expanding every day, so every day we're a new person. But if you trust your heart and that inner knowing, when you get those knowings, then that's your guidance system, not your mind. Meditation is actually going beyond the mind. So.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.